What's up guys, Bodytags here and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to be checking out the first ever gameplay of Yumi. Today's video is brought to you by Zach. This is a personal League of Legends gaming AI assistant, and we have a gameplay tab that automatically recognizes when we're in queue. So let's say that we want to play Caitlyn, the runes and core build. It automatically lets us know that Zach has edited our rune page and selected the most optimal runes this patch. Another benefit to using the Zach client is that once we're in game, Zach automatically makes an item set for us. I will include the link in the description if you want to download it. Now, this is a Korean YouTube video that is pretty much, as far as I know, the first gameplay in the world of Yumi. If you guys haven't seen anything about Yumi, she is a cute little cat support champion, and I am very excited to check her out this game and see how she works, because she's pretty unique in that, as you guys can see here, with her W, which you automatically get at rank 1, you can bind yourself to your ally and basically become untargetable. So think of it sort of like a Lulu picks, where you go to your AD carry and just empower him, so all of your abilities become modified and just help out your AD carry, and you can't be targeted while you're attached to your ally. So as you guys can see here, we're seeing some basic trading patterns in lane. We are seeing how you can, after a short cooldown, attach to another ally and unattach yourself. Is going to be obviously pretty interesting in like mid-game, late game, deciding who you attach yourself to. Here you can see Yumi dashing to her ally for the shield. Now her passive is Bop and Block. So every so often your auto attack against an opponent restores mana and grants you a shield. If you are attached to an ally, the shield protects your ally instead, of course. Like I said, all of your abilities basically have a modifier. Let's see, more trading in lane, and you can see here deciding when to be untargetable, when to proc your heal. Your Q is a missile that deals damage to the first enemy hit, and if the missile is in flight long enough, it will deal bonus damage and slow the enemy. And obviously when you are attached, you're just going to fire the missile from your ally. So as you can see there, that is the Q. It looks pretty cool. Here we have the ultimate, which is just a wave that roots repeatedly. Waves of magic damage that will root after multiple hits. While using your ulti as well, you can move and attach to ally champions, and you can also heal. Extremely useful champion. Now, one thing to note that is very important is that you are still targetable by turrets when you are attached to your ally, so you can't really use it for turret diving and things of that sort. The turrets will still hit you. So there we can see the Yumi trying to land her Q, immediately going to her ally when he gets traded on. And here she unattaches, drops the ulti, hits the root with the multiple waves. Pretty good Yumi gameplay here. Of course, when that Q does travel for enough time, it will deal bonus damage and provide a slow. Now, Yumi's W is interesting because passively it grants you each adaptive, you and your ally, it grants you adaptive AD or AP, a percentage of each other's AD or AP. And when you activate it, you get a dash to your ally champion and it attaches you, so essentially it's an escape tool. So you can walk up in lane, trade, press your W, go to your ally, and become immediately untargetable. This seems like very powerful trading pattern in lane. Your E is just a standard heal. This seems to be what we're going to want to max because Yumi is a support. It also gives you a burst of movement speed. If you're attached, of course, this heal will go on your ally. So your combo in lane is going to look like Q, trade, R for the root, and then just WE for the heal. Alright, as we can see in game, she is very mobile thanks to the dashes and becoming untargetable. You can see here just quick swapping between allies. You do have a small cooldown on when you can detach from an ally, but you don't really have a cooldown on how often you can swap from ally to ally. And it does look like we're opting into an Athene's Unholy Grail build here, which is pretty useful, especially if you're going to be maxing your E. Alright, let's see. More team fight, more team fight. Drops the ulti, gets Lee Sin queued. Immediately attaches back to the ally. Becomes untargetable. As you guys can imagine, it's going to be very, very annoying trying to kill Yumi, as you can see with the quick swapping in team fights. As we're seeing here. She can just swap and swap and swap to each ally and become untargetable, dropping heals on each one of them. As you guys can see here, good example of using the ultimate when you're attached to someone. It will shoot from your ally's body, so this is going to take some level of coordination in solo queue. I can see it being awkward if the Yumi and the ADC are not like in VC together. More teamfight pattern, swapping quickly to the Galio for the heal, ends up saving him. Unfortunately, the Twitch dies, and once your AD carry dies, you are pretty much a sitting duck. You do have to be a little bit smart with who you choose to go to in team fights. As you guys can see here, goes on the Twitch, kiting with him, dropping the ultimate, which does root. This is a great way to add peel to an ADC. Self-peel, essentially. Giving him more movement speed, giving him a heal, giving him an ultimate. Essentially a mini Sona ultimate. Because it is just a root, but with multiple waves. Very, very interesting champion. I think essentially how good she'll be is going to depend entirely on numbers. Because she has a heal, a pretty straightforward ultimate, a missile on her Q. A lot of Yumi is just going to come down to how tuned she is. So as you guys can see here, gives the Twitch the movement speed and the heal, lets him catch up to Vayne, and pretty easy. Honestly, the playstyle is very straightforward. You want to buff your teammates. The interesting choices you want to make are going to be in team fights, of course, on who you buff, who you go to, who you want to be untargetable on. You want to be careful with your positioning because you are essentially relying on your teammates' positioning. As you guys can see here, the Yumi's team got wiped, so she was playing quite far back. And she's going on the Camille, drops the slow on Vayne, gets the Camille engage, immediately goes on the Twitch for the follow-up. The Yumi played that team fight very, very well. You could see more team fights. We once again see the power of a Yumi on top of a Twitchel. Honestly, it just looks insane. The potential, especially in an AD carry like Twitch that can go invisible with the Yumi. Imagine a Twitch coming out of ulti with a mini Sona ult on top of his ulti. It's honestly just insane. Once again, we see it here. The Twitch and ulti combo seems to be working out for them quite well. You can see him just hot swapping between enemies to get the engage here. Gets the slow, goes immediately on the Twitch, untargets to chase down the Lee Sin, hits him with the missile, and perfect, flashes right into the Twitch. And it looks like the game is coming to an end here. Pretty straightforward game from the Yumi, just playing around her teammates, dropping good ultimates, swapping quickly in between her teammates during fights, making herself untargetable, making herself an annoyance, essentially. You guys can even see it here. She's just constantly swapping between teammates. It does look like the Twitch is going to go down. She goes on the Camille for the heal, untargets because she can tell the Camille's going to die, or unattaches, rather. Now this is pretty useful if you attach yourself to the Kayn, who can obviously walk through walls. Now when the GA does pop, this does unattach you, so that is very unfortunate for the Yumi there. She can't remain untargetable through the GA. WE. I'm curious to see what would have happened if the Yumi actually was with the Kayn during his ultimate. I wonder if she would unattach. More good Yumi ults. more attaching herself to her teammates very quickly in team fights. And it looks like they surrendered during the last team fight. Well, it looks like that game was a stump. That was the first ever Yumi gameplay in the world. Oh, it looks like we have another one immediately after. I'll focus more on commentary on the specific lane matchup in this one. We have MF. So as you guys can see here, I think a point that a lot of people bring up when talking about Yumi is how she might be better than something like a Lulu. And I think one of the ways that people counter Lulu is essentially to focus her and get her to burn her ulti early in team fights, because she's extremely squishy. I don't think Yumi has this problem. Unfortunately, it looks like you cannot dodge auto attacks by attaching to your teammates. So that Lulu's auto attack, of course, still goes through. Would be quite OP if you could dodge in that manner. Let's see, just standard Yumi ulti. Attaching yourself to high mobility champions seems OP. You can cover a lot of ground with them. And it looks like this Yumi is going for a more traditional Ardent support build, which is interesting considering that they have an MF. So drops her ultimate. So she went Ancient Coin into Ardent Sensor Redemption. Her heals are going to be insane. Now this is where the Yumi becomes slightly problematic. When she is singled out like this, she needs to be untargetable or she is going to be extremely squishy and just focus down. She does not have a ton of self-peel. Essentially, the strongest thing about Yumi is her W, her ability to attach to teammates, become untargetable, dodge CC, dodge auto attacks, is extremely strong. As you guys can see here as well, the ultimate on Yumi covers quite a bit of terrain. That is a pretty big AoE. Those multiple waves are really going to tear up team fights in solo queue. I mean, look at the range on this ultimate. The Yumi's essentially casting it from way over the wall and it's still hitting enemies. That range is absolutely insane. That ultimate seems so strong. As you guys can see here, the Yumi quickly attaches to the Irelia, tries to save her. Unfortunately, it is not enough. It's the slow. They're going to chase her down. Yumi has ultimate, so they know that they're safe. Irelia over the wall. Fiora, my apologies. Fiora over the wall. That Q missile seems really strong. It is in flight for quite a long time. It's pretty slow moving, but if you do land it, you are pretty much guaranteed a kill, I think, especially when chasing a situation like that. The slow seems pretty fat. As you guys can see, the Yumi is finally going into that Athene's Unholy Grail. I think that is going to be a pretty strong buy on Yumi because of the Emax that most people seem to be going. E into Qmax. Alright, and it looks like that is the end of the second game, and I will include links to everything that you may want to read about Yumi, if you want to watch the gameplay yourself, whatever you may want to learn about this champion, I will include it in the description below. Let's just go over her abilities one more time. So, passive, bop and block. Every so often, Yumi's next attack against an opponent restores mana and grants her shield. If Yumi is attached, the shield protects her ally. The shield protects Yumi or her ally until it's broken. Q, prowling projectile. Yumi fires the missile that deals magic damage to the first enemy hit. If the missile is in flight long enough, it deals bonus magic damage and slows enemies. While attached, of course, this all fires from the ally's position. You and me, W. Yumi starts with a point in her W. She dashes to an ally champion and attaches to them. While attached, she follows her partner's movement and is untargetable by everything except tower damage. Yumi's abilities fire from your ally's location, and she can't attack enemies while she's untargetable. She can unattach after cooldown or attach to another teammate with no cooldown. Izumi's Yumi heals and gains a burst of movement speed if attached her ally is targeted by the spell. Instead, the spell has 2 charges. Our final chapter, Yumi opens her book, launching waves of magic damage that root enemies after multiple hits. While using her ult, Yumi can move, attach to ally champions, and heal. So of course, when you're using the ult, I didn't see it in this video, but obviously you can imagine a team fight where you start with the ulti when you're still targetable, you dash to one of your allies, you attach to them, and hit them with the second part of your ultimate because it fires multiple waves. That seems like a very, very strong team fight combo. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for Zach for sponsoring the video. Make sure to check out links in the description. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you think about Yumi, and I will catch you guys in the next video.
Body tags, naughty bitch, finna put him in a body bag. Naughty bitch, got a body. Body tags, naughty bitch, finna put him in a body bag. Naughty bitch, got a body. I've been making paper, no trees. Less is that green, I ain't making no pleas. Never stressing no lease. I'ma keep you guessing on a beat.